Right. So this is where life gets a little bit more complicated, especially with SpriteKit. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in all of the physics here. So first things first, we got to hop up all the way to the top. And in this top, we're going to have to say SK physics contact delegate. Okay. Take a couple seconds, make sure that this line looks exactly the same. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to physics world dot contact delegate is equal to self. Make sure that this looks exactly the same. If you don't add those in here, it will not work. Okay, so those two lines should be the two items that you need to add in here. Let's go back down to the bottom here, and what we're going to do is we're going to add in all of the collisions first, okay? And then we're going to add in our did begin contact. So we're going to add in a function here. We're going to say, we're going to call this player leader collision, and I'm going to say contact A is SK sprite node, and then contact B is SK sprite node. So what we're going to do is we're going to pass in the two collisions, contact A and contact B here. Now we need the player leader collision, we need the player collectible, we also need the player block 1 and block 2. So I'm just copying and pasting that here. We're going to say player collectible collision, and this is going to be player block 1 collision, and then player block 2 collision. So essentially we're going to be passing in here. Now this did begin contact, we're going to say function did begin contact, and here's where life gets to be fun. Now make sure that all these are set up. Take a couple extra seconds to make sure that's correct here. And this is where life gets a little bit more complicated. So let's add in our first body, and we'll make that equal to contact.body A, and then var second body is equal to contact.body B. Okay, so what this is going to do is that this is going, in SpriteKit it either works like this. Either contact A is contacting with B, or B is with A. So think about a ball against a wall. Either the ball is colliding with the wall, or the wall is colliding with the ball. So that's just the way it works within this here. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to add in all of these funky if statements. We're going to say if, okay, and this is where life gets complicated, but it works here. So we're going to say first body dot category bitmask is equal to physics category. Okay, it's equal to physics category, and we're going to also say dot player. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is the and here. We're going to say physics body, or it's going to say contact second body dot category bitmask is equal to, and they, by the way, they need to be double equal signs, is double equal to physics category dot leader. Okay, so we'll do this in order here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure and we copy this out here, and I'm going to copy everything but the first item there, and I'm going to use the or. And all I'm going to do is change leader with player and player with leader. So again, either the player is colliding with the leader or the leader is colliding with the player. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that out here, and this, just want to make sure that it works here. First body category bitmask player, and second category bitmask leader, first body leader, and second category player. So yeah, that does work as well. So we need to do this and need to copy this, and I'm going to show you why we're copying it in just a second. But we're going to copy this once, and we'll say player, and we'll just change leader with collectible, and so we now have the collectible here. And then we need two more. It's going to be player with block void 1. And so all we're doing is we're just going block void 1, and then we're going to say that lastly here, this is block void 2 and block void 2. Now, this if statement doesn't do anything because we have to add that in here. And for whatever reason, you have to type it out and you can't copy it. I don't know why, but I spent a lot of time trying to figure out why this works here. Well, anyway, so let's go to player leader collision, and we're going to say first body as sk sprite node, and then we're going to say second body as, oh, by the way, it has to be .node. Of course not. Of course it has to be that. .node as sk sprite node. So we got both of those there. Okay, and that should work. And so we got first body .node and then as. There we go. Okay, and that should clear up. Okay, we're going to do the second thing. We're going to go to player, and it's going to be collectible collision. Because this is the collectible one, we're going to say first body.node as sk sprite node and second body.node as sk sprite node. Okay. Now we have block 1 collision and we also have block 2 collision. For some reason player is not spelled correctly, so let's go ahead and let's change that up here. And we're going to say that in this one, this is the block 1, we're going to say player dot block 1 collision is going to be first body dot node as sk sprite node and second body dot node as sk sprite node. We're very close to finishing this off here. We're going to say player block 2 is going to be, in this case, it's going to be player. In this case, is going to be first body dot node as sk sprite node and second body. And we'll just wait for that to come up here. Dot node as sk sprite node. Wow. Okay, so now these functions don't do anything, but we've set up everything so that it does work. Okay, so we'll deal with the logic in the next tutorial.